So I've been having this feeling lately when I go on the internet or, just go on my phone or something like that, how boring the internet has become now. And I cannot be the only person that feels this way. I remember when I was a kid and a teenager, back when the internet was a place, and I think that's honestly a huge reason why the internet is getting boring now, is just because we have it all the time. But I remember going to the hub of the living room, the giant computer desk that had like everything on it. And that was the internet. It was parked there. And I remember being so excited to go on, look up stuff, go on like, the Bungie.net forums or the Halo forums or just like, various gaming websites or sports websites. Just, have discussion, go on AIM, talk to my friends. And I could spend hours and hours on the internet. And then also, when YouTube launched and stuff like that, that was a huge deal. And I still love YouTube, even though that is not even the same anymore. And we'll get into that later. But I feel like the internet has kind of just homogenized into like 5 or 6 websites. I don't want to say social media destroyed it, because even back in the MySpace days, it was still good. There were still various, websites to go to. But it's just boring as hell to be on now. It's like I feel like the internet's become Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Reddit. And that's not a good thing, because I loved the varying things. Like when I went on Bungie.net, I went there to discuss Halo, and every once in a while there were some conversations that weren't about Halo, but we went to places for specific purposes, and it felt like it was a more broad thing when you went on there. But now it's like everything is so bland and boring, and Twitter is a cesspool now, honestly, and Facebook's boring, and everyone's talking about how they're always spying on you and all this stuff. But I don't remember the last time I genuinely was excited to go online now. Like, honestly, because everyone has a smartphone now, we're all connected to it 24/7, so you can't escape it. So obviously, having the internet for years and years and years at this point, and having it in your pocket, the allure of it or the luster of it is worn off, because as it's just become part of everyday normal life. But honestly, if I didn't play video games online, I don't even know if I would have an internet connection. Like, obviously, besides my cell phone, having service for that, so I'd have connection to it via my cell phone. But I really don't know if I would actually even need it or want it, because I can't remember a time where I've been excited to go on. And even this goes into YouTube and stuff now. I think as soon as people started being able to make money online, it went downhill. I have a YouTube playlist that, I have from like a bunch of old YouTube videos from back in the day that, I love. And they're like, vintage YouTube to me. And, it's nostalgic to watch. And compare that to stuff being made now, and it doesn't feel genuine. And I think that is another one of the big problems with the internet and why it's so boring, is nothing seems genuine now, especially with AI being introduced into everything now. There's a bunch of AI slop content, which I have a problem with. But when you go on YouTube now, everyone seems to do the same stuff. It's all this hyper-edited, like, crazy stuff. It's just this 15 of the same videos, and it's very clear. You can tell the difference between something that someone genuinely wanted to make versus something that, people made just to make money. And I think, like I said, once money started getting introduced, the genuine nature and genuine content went away. And YouTube has suffered greatly from it, I think. I think if you look at, back in the golden eras of YouTube, you could look at, the 2000, like early 2010s, 2016s, another like golden age of it, and compare it to now. It's like, dude, YouTube sucks. Like, it's genuinely just a bunch of people making the same kind of content to make money, and that is like the whole purpose of it. It's very rare to find some genuine content, and I think the best thing that YouTube has done recently, and I know some people don't like it, is push smaller channels, because there's a few videos I've seen that are just so incredible, and then you go look at their sub counts, they have like 50, 60 subscribers, and you're like, man, it's good to see some smaller creators have some passion back in it, and not just these corporation YouTube channels that sole purpose is just to make money. And then it also seems, which adds to the boredom of it, is everyone is so toxic online now. If you go on one of the 5 websites that, exists on the internet now, and everything else is pretty much relevant. Like, if you go on Twitter, everyone is always so mad at each other. And no matter what you're talking about, you could be talking about video games, you could be talking about, fucking grass. And someone will find something to argue and be completely toxic with. And that adds to just not wanting to be on it. And I do think, going back to what I said at the start of the video, the internet being a place, I think that has led to it being the boredom of it too, and the toxicity of it. Because before, when you went to that desk hub, you were on the internet. When you left it, you were off of the internet. And I feel like that time you spent off of the internet rebalanced you, where you're like, oh, I hate these people. They're, when you get into an argument with someone online, you'd leave the internet, like on a forum or something, you'd leave, get in touch with reality, and be like, oh, okay, it's just internet stuff, it's not real life. But internet has become real life now, because everyone is constantly connected to it, and I feel like that is just not a good thing. I really wish I could go back to the internet being exciting again, because I genuinely do miss being excited to log on the internet. I missed going on MySpace and AOL Instant Messenger, going on the forums, and just being excited about the internet now. But it is just so bland, dry, devoid of any kind of personality, and just a shell of what it used to be. And YouTube's included in that. And I wish I could go back in time to enjoy the internet again, but honestly, there is so little joy to be had off the internet besides, like I said, for online gaming purposes. And, the occasional YouTube videos good every now and then. There are still great creators out there. I don't want to say there's no one good out there anymore, but it just feels so corporatized, bland, and boring. And I hate it, because I think the internet was something that used to be extremely special, and now it is boring and tearing us apart if you look at it, because the toxicity level of it is seeping into real life, because for some people, the internet has become real life, and you can't escape it anymore.